everyone and welcome to The Learning Ladder. I thought it'd be fun today to show you my TBR for 2024. I do have quite a few books on here, but I just want to preface this to say is that every year is different in terms of quantity of reading. So for example, the year when I had 4 newborn puppies at the same time, I didn't read as much, so just bear that in mind. I do love to read, and reading is one of my favourite things to do, and I do prioritise it above other things such as watching TV shows and stuff like that. You can't do both, it's just not possible, so unless it's a really good show, I'd rather pick up a book. But at times of the year when something really good comes on, then I'd rather watch a show. It's, a mix and match. Okay, so this is my TBR cart for 2024. I'm also going to show you what's on my Kindle that I want to read as well. But let's just start with the first shelf. This is not organised at all because I'm a mood reader. The only way it's organised is, technically speaking, if it's a series. So I do occasionally organise it, where I have fantasy on one shelf, but it just doesn't work because I just end up putting them back wherever there's space. So it's fine. I like my system. My non-existent system apart from a series. So I'll just show you what's on the first shelf and then we'll move down. So this on the first shelf is a cookbook. So I do keep non-fiction and fiction together because, as I said, I'll just get out what I want at the time. This is the Modern Pioneer cookbook from Mary Schrader. She's on YouTube. I'm really excited to get into that one this year. So we've got Sarah J. Maas, Crescent City Book 2. This is a reread for me. I've read it twice before, but the new book is coming out and I wanted to read it again before the new book comes out. I don't always do that in a series unless I really love it, and in this case I do. So we have Fourth Wing, super popular book. I haven't read it yet, so I'm excited to try that this year. Then we have Chains of Thorns from Cassandra Clare. I'm just wondering what my cat was up to. She's right down here. This is the last book in the series from The Last Hours. I did start to read it last year, but something else grabbed my attention. Again, as I said, mood reader. So I'm definitely going to finish it in 2024. Where the Crawdads Sing, I've seen the movie and it's amazing, and I've never read the book, so I decided to get that this year. I've just got a bread making book on here. I like to try different recipes from it for my bread machine. This was a free book that came with another book as a discount, and it's the Prepping Crash Course, and I thought I'd give it a read. It sounds kind of dramatic, so I'm interested to see what that's about, but hopefully you'll have some useful information in there. Then we've got 1984, George Orwell. I've read that one before, but I was a lot younger, so I do like to revisit books as you get older to see, if your opinions change. Then we have Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I have, again, started this one, but not finished it. It's a slow start for me, but I'm sure I'll get into it soon. Then we have Shadow Bone series. I've seen it on Netflix. I've had the series for the longest time, I think, probably since it came out, and I've never read it, so I want to pick it up finally this year. This is another book I've had on my shelf. I should say this is very much a bookshelf TBR, i.e. stuff you already have. I haven't bought anything new. It's all things I've already had that I want to get to this year. The Distant Hours by Kate Morton. This is something I've had on my shelf for years. I think I got it from the Book People for 50p or something ridiculous. It's a mystery. It sounds really good. It's about a manor house, and it just sounds really good, and I finally want to get to it this year. The Book of the Unnamed Midwife. This is a reread for me. It's a really interesting book, so I definitely want to get that one done again. I read it several years ago and really enjoyed it, so I want to try it again this year. Essential Oils book, again from DK. I've had this for years, but I finally got some essential oils, so it would be the right time to read it now. I have looked through it previously in the past, but never with any really intent. But now that I've got my own oils, then now's the time to try it out properly. Then we have The Night Road from Kirsten Hanna. This was a book set that I got with random books in years and years ago, and I've not read this title from the pack, so I thought I'd give it a try this year. Moving on down, we've got Skyward from Brandon Sanderson. I have started this one, stopped, and never got back into it, so I want to get that finished this year. Red Queen is a really super old book, and for whatever reason, I've never picked it up. I've had it on my shelf, and I've never got to it, so now's the time. We have the Game of Thrones series. I want to reread it again. I think I'm a bit ambitious because I'll show you a big series that I want to try, but we'll see how we go to get the rest of the series finished. I think I'm a bit ambitious with 2 giant series, so we'll see. If I just get the Game of Thrones reread, that will make me happy. Okay, Stephanie Garber, even Caravel. I don't think I've only put this on here because I want to read Legendary, and I haven't read Caraval for years. I think I'm pretty much fine with the plot and everything else, but I just might want to have a quick overlook at the last couple of chapters before I start Legendary, just because it's been so long. So I might not actually need to read the whole thing, because I do pretty much remember most things. It's just the last chapter, a couple of chapters I'm a bit fuzzy on, so I might just do a refresher. I might end up reading the whole thing, we'll see. Then we have Holly Black, The Modern Fairy Tales. This is a bind up, so I want to get to that one. Then we've got Legendary, as I said, that's the second book in the series from Stephanie Garber. We have The Historian. I did read this years ago, but I can't for the life of me remember much of it. I know it was really interesting what I did read of it, so I want to reread that one. Usually books don't make me forget, but I think I read that one so long ago, and I think I read it really super fast, so I want to reread that one again. Okay, then we have Wuthering Heights from Emily Bronte, obviously a classic. I want to reread that one. I watched The Host the other day on TV, and it just reminded me how much I really enjoyed reading the book, so I picked that up to put on my cart, which is on a different shelf. But then I saw I had The Chemist, and I don't think I ever actually finished this one, so I want to get that one read this year. Then we've got Anne of Green Gables, a classic. Brave Learner from Julie Bogart. I've had this book for ages, and as you can see, I've read quite a lot of it, but I just never finished it, so this is the year to get that done. And this is a new series for me to try, from Elizabeth Chadwick. This is The Summer Queen. It's historical fiction. I do have the autumn and the winter one as well, so if I like that series, I will add those onto my cart. Okay, now the bottom one is double stacked, so I'll do the front first and then we'll get onto the back. So we have The Bronze Horseman by Paulina Simons. This is a reread, one of my favourite books of all time, Never Let Me Go. I just had to put it on there for 2024 again. Now this is a reread, and I just watched the series on Paramount, and it was really, really good. I'd forgotten how much I loved Virginia Andrews' writing. So I want to reread Flowers in the Attic, and I mentioned when I talked about the series that I couldn't remember reading the first book, the prequel, but I do actually have it, so I think I must have read it, and it does look like it's been read. I've just forgotten, so it's been so long. I think I was 16 when I read Flowers in the Attic, so I want to try it again this year. Then we have The Best of Me by Nicholas Sparks, just a fluff one. Then we have Jane Austen's collection, and it's got Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, Emma, and Northanger Abbey. I want to get to all of them. Some of them are rereads, but I have never read Northanger Abbey or Sense and Sensibility, so I want to enjoy those this year as well. Okay, we have The Wicked King by Holly Black. I never got to this one, and I do have the next one as well. I did read the first one, which was really good, but for whatever reason, I think I started it but just never finished it. So I want to read this one, and then I do have Queen of Nothing as well. And then we've got Finale, which is why I want to read Legendary, because this is the final book, Finale, as the name would suggest. I want to get to it this year. And then we've got my giant series of the year, so I want to read the rest of the Outlander series. So they're here, there's 3 here, and then they're all hiding at the back right there because it is a massive series. Okay, and then the rest of the shelf that's not Outlander series, we've got The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn from Mark Twain, reread again, but that was from high school. We have The Host, as I said earlier. I got to watch the movie and I really want to read the book again. We have Scythe by by Neil Shusterman. I think I started it but never finished it. I do have the second one as well. And then the last one is A Darker Shade of Magic by V. Schwab. So that's everything on my TBR cart. I'll show you my Kindle now. I have a ton of stuff on my Kindle that I just get from BookBub and things like that. But I do have some classics that I definitely want to get to. And then the rest of them I'll just use for when I need a cleanser, a palette cleanser, if I've read a tough series or whatever. Because I have a lot of romance on here, sci-fi romance, paranormal romance, and I just like to dip into them when I feel like it. So in terms of my classics, I have got The Tenant of Wildfell Hell that I want to get to this year, Tess of the D'Urbervilles, and The Emotional Thesaurus, A Writer's Guide to Character Expression. So that's everything on the TBR for right now. I'm really looking forward to picking up the books this year, and I'll definitely let you know how I'm getting on. If you've got any must-reads this year for yourself, definitely let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear of any other recommendations or things that I should pop onto my list, my ever-growing list. But I really wanted to do an off-the-shelf TBR this year to get read things that have been on my shelf for ages that have just been collecting dust. And hopefully finding some gems along the way. So take care, and I'll see you in our next video. Let me know if you'd like me to do monthly updates or anything with regards to my books. I know I'm not a book journal technically speaking, so I might just do quarterly, or maybe I'll just do a annual, oh, this was what was on my TBR and this is what I actually read scenario. I do also have my planners up here, which I didn't show you. So I have my YouTube planner, I have my personal planner, I also have my meal planner. As you can see, I like journals and notebooks, and I have my book bullet journal. But that's everything. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye for now.